we've all heard someone say that they're about to have a nervous breakdown, or maybe it's your parents. I'm on my last nerve, right? And what that means is that their nervous system is dysregulated. There's no more capacity. And a regulated nervous system does not mean that I'm like calm and meditative all the time. A regulated nervous system means that I can maintain my state of choice, meaning that I have capacity, I have space within myself to deal with the outside stimulus and still have the space in between the stimulus and the response to actually think consciously about what my response is. If I'm on my last nerve, or someone's on my last nerve and I have no more capacity, well, I'm about to have an involuntary response that's probably going to be expressive all over you, and probably not a healthy way.
Yeah, I think Clay, our good friend Clay, just spoke about this, and he was comparing it to like superheroes, and he was saying, do you want to be the Incredible Hulk, or do you want to be Superman? And that analogy is the Incredible Hulk is someone who, once he turns into the Incredible Hulk, he loses control. He just smashes and breaks, and he doesn't have any ability to
Hulk
go back
smash.
to become, back to Bruce Banner. But, you know, if you can actually, like you're saying, have the ability to choose health, choose when to turn it on and when to turn it off, you become more like Clark Kent and his ability to put on his cape and become Superman. You have the ability to take your superpowers out into the world, your special gifts, when you choose to.
So many people come to me and ask, like, how do I find clarity? And I'm like, it's okay to be unclear. It's okay to not have it figured out. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself. When you are unclear, you are probably in a transitional phase in your life. You are probably going through some transition, whether you're losing your job, switching careers, just got over a breakup, just moved to a new city. Like, those transitional phases are the hardest phases of our life, but they're the most important and they're the most potent. And it's important to not put that pressure on you to be clear, because you're in a transitional phase and you should be exploring, testing, listening, and you will hear as you're exploring what's in alignment with you. And that will provide the clarity for you. It's never figured out. It's the process of doing it that helps you find what's clear for you, what's in alignment for you.
Yeah, I think you said something really interesting, is like sometimes on the other side of this unclarity or unclearness is exploration. Your ability to go out there in life and taste things and try things. And that is what experience is. And that cannot be rushed. It comes in its own time. And so I love that analogy of over top of a hill of unclarity, you will find exploration.
Yeah, and it reminds me of the concept of beginner's mind, where people are so afraid to suck at things. We want to be so good at everything. And if you develop that beginner's mindset, it will allow you to explore different things. A lot of people have so many gifts that never get to come to fruition because they never allowed themselves to explore and test different things. Awesome. And the last thing you want to do is die with those gifts left unexplored.
Yeah. It's that old quote that the wealthiest place, the richest place is a cemetery. That's where most of the dreams have been buried.
Breakups are one of the hardest things for a human to go through, because our nervous system is so used to co-regulating with this other person. If it's been years or months or decades, we develop these energetic attachments, these cords that just get tangled up in each other. And when we have a breakup, or when we're no longer with this person, or this person is no longer in alignment with us and what we're trying to do, that process of untangling is really like relapsing from drugs in a way. Like, it's a very physical process of cutting off those. And it's not even a clean cut, because you have to untie and spend time processing all of the different little parts of what this person actually brought out of you and what this person gave to you and what you gave to them. And that's why, that concept of like no contact is so powerful and also so hard, because it's a cutting from it, and you literally have to sit there and reclaim all of your energy and recall all of the parts of yourself back in. And it's not just in your mind, it's very much in your body, in your soma, in your nervous system. It's an electrical solution that we have to figure out.
Yeah. Most likely you meshed. Most likely you've plugged in with this person.
Yeah.
You've been connected to them. And there's just this concept that, a breakup there's grief, and not just for that person not being in your sphere or your energetic bubble anymore, but grief for your own self and the parts of you that have to change and have to grow and have to die. And there's a constant renewing. Just like our body regenerates itself and renewing cells, there's a renewance of us, and there's an emergence that comes out of these breakups. They're hard to endure, and they are so relatable. And it actually, in its own way, it reminds us of our own mortality and how we will soon, at one point, leave and depart ourselves. But it prepares us. It is a mini death in a way.
Yeah. Everything is preparing us for death. And it's so interesting with the concept of union, coming together with another person, where it's this dance where we become enmeshed, and then we have to individuate and be our individual people. And then we come back and we're enmeshed, and then we got to be our own people. And it's like that dance, I think, is the hardest part for people, because that's where the attachment issues are within that dance. Some people have a hard time getting too close. Some people have a hard time when they're far apart, the anxious and avoidant attachments. And really, it's interesting to look where you at on that scale. Do you feel comfortable when you are all together all the time? Yeah. Or do you feel more comfortable when there's space? And usually the opposing side is where you have to look at your pattern, where you need to look. And that's usually where our trauma responses are at.
Yeah. Yeah. I love how relationships can show us that side, and so too can community.
Yeah.
Come unite is community, in a way. And so both of them are incredible life lessons that actually teach us more just about ourselves.
There's that dance between self and other. That's like, people that are narcissists or people that have just no boundaries, or you could say the positive aspect of that, where it's people that are well individuated, that have a strong sense of ego and know themselves, or people that are very empathetic and can feel other people. And it's interesting to look at that dynamic for yourself. And that's usually where you fall on that scale. If you are more empathetic or you are more individuated and like more in yourself, usually the balance that you need is to look at the other side. Narcissists, they probably need to develop some empathy and being able to feel other people. Someone who's empathetic and enmeshed with everyone's energy probably needs to develop a deeper sense of self. And we cannot escape this polarity of life.
No, we can't.